Morning, everybody. Oh, what a beautiful day. I'm always putting off making videos, and I'm going to stop that because I need to do this. I want to put myself out there. I'm always, you know how you always beat yourself up and I didn't do my hair, or I didn't do this, or I don't look good enough to be on camera, or I don't have a space. You know, I have so many reasons to not make videos. It's ridiculous. But I just got up this morning and it's beautiful. You can see the blue sky. Oh, it's beautiful. I've had so much rain lately. I don't know. A lot of you guys probably don't know a lot about me, but that's why I want to make videos. I want to tell my story, and because I know there's lots of people out there like myself, and I just want to be able to, talk with those people and let myself know that I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone, but I feel alone a lot of times in my life and what I'm doing. I mean, I suffer from chronic illness, so I can't get a job. I want to get a job a lot of times. I feel healthy enough some days in a row where I'm like, yeah, I could do that. I want to do that. I need to do something. And then another couple days comes along and it reminds me why I'm home every single day. And if you don't know, I suffer from fibromyalgia, chronic pain, chronic fatigue syndrome. I did have, I don't know if I can say I healed my IBS yet, irritable bowel syndrome, but I'm definitely on my healing way to that, which is exciting. I've changed a lot of my diet. For most of you, I don't know if you know that I drink Kangen water, which I was bedridden for a year before Kangen water came into my life. So Kangen water has done miraculous things for me. It's actually allowed me to get out of my bed and live out like a pretty decent, normal life again, because living in my bed for a year was very depressing. It was very hard. I couldn't stand for more than 5 minutes at a time on an average day. Otherwise, I'd feel very faint and I would just have to sit or lay down before I literally fell down. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty scary. And that's why I want to put my story up on here, because not a lot of people know that. And unless you're going to ask me questions, I don't really complain and tell you what is going on in my life. I'm a quality time kind of person. Look at my beautiful flowers up there. I'll show you my little, I guess I can't turn my screen around. I got flowers everywhere. My little piece of heaven is my backyard. I'll show you a little bit if I can. My little piece of heaven back here. Lots of some green grass, some garden, lots of flowers. My animals. I got 5 dogs, 4 little dogs, little Jackie Cheese, which I'm expecting babies soon, and I'm excited for that. Didn't really want any more babies, because babies are a little bit of work, but they're always more added sunshine and happiness and smiles into my day, which is gonna be fun. So I just want to wake up this morning and come out here into my little piece of heaven and say hi to you guys this morning. I'm out here drinking my Kangen water, my morning water. Oh, so good. It's what has been keeping me alive and on my feet for the last few years, and people ask me if I'm still doing Kangen water. Absolutely. Even 2 weeks without my Kangen water, what a huge difference. After 2 days, I get migraines and headaches, which, if you don't know me very well, I've had migraines and headaches my entire life. I had bottles of Tylenol or Advil or aspirin throughout my house, everywhere, in like 2 or 3 to 5 in every bag that I took away, like in my purse or whatever. Any bag that I'd went anywhere, it always came with me. I'd never lived without it. I didn't know what it was like to live without it. But Kangen water has definitely helped me with that. But 2 days without Kangen water, and I've only been out of Kangen water for 2 weeks, and that's when I went to Europe. And the voltage there, I had an adapter for my machine, but apparently it was just the plug-in adapter, not the voltage adapter. And the first time I plugged in my machine, it burnt a fuse. So for 2 weeks, I was out of Kangen water, and I was a little scared because I didn't know actually how long my body or how well I had fixed or cured my body would due to health reasons and like dietary changes and the water. I mean, I know I was doing rather well compared to what I had been doing. But it really worried me because I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have my Kangen water. Okay, I will drink, as much regular water as I can. I mean, I'm in Europe, which is a rather clean environment, water and health and food-wise compared to North America. So I felt a little comforted by that, but it was still a little scary because my chronic illness is very debilitating. So I went through a 14-day period and taking notes as I went along. And like I said, 2 days without it. I was drinking lots of regular water, and I knew I had to drink more regular water than I do of my Kangen water because my Kangen water is so much more hydrating than regular water. So I was drinking a lot of water. But 2 days without Kangen water, I started getting migraines and headaches, just mild ones every day. Right away, I noticed that after 2 days, and I'm like, oh, this is my first sign of dehydration. And I mean, for everybody who thinks you drink lots of water. I mean, people drink lots of water all the time. They're like, well, I'm not dehydrated. I drink so much water. Like, I don't need that special Kangen water. You have no idea. Literally, you have no idea. Until you see a demonstration, which a lot of people are reluctant to see it because they just think water is water. And I mean, my water is as good as your water. And I mean, that's the way I used to think too. I grew up on well water. Yummy, delicious, amazing well water my entire life. Not city water. Not town water that was, cleaned and filtered. Actually living right out of the ground water. And good stuff. Not what some people have to drink. And even compared to that, there is no comparison. So for anybody else who's drinking city water, who's drinking filtered water, filtered water is for sure. If you're drinking city water, if you're not drinking filtered city water, I don't know what you're drinking. Bottled water, I've never liked bottled water. I don't know, for many people, I could always taste the plastic in the bottled water. And nowadays people have I found out there's a minimum of 10,000 micro pieces of plastic in each bottle of water. And Dasani was the worst for me. The first time I ever had a bottle of Dasani, and I was probably like 16. And I had Dasani. I literally took one drink and I was like, ugh, tastes like plastic, like gross. And literally the only ever bottled waters I would ever drink were literally Fiji or Evian, which everyone's like, oh, those are so expensive. But those were the only bottles that I could not taste the plastic. And after now having Kangen water and knowing how to test waters for pH levels and the ORP, like how healthy the water is for you, if you're gonna drink bottled water, Fiji and Evian are the better ones out of any of them. So, my taste buds, I could taste that when I was a teenager. And I didn't drink bottled water very often, but when it came to town water, when I went to school and stuff, often in the fountains, like a couple times a year, it would just be, they'd be flushing the lines, and it would just be rusty, nasty water. And once you see that a couple times, you go to, you're a little kid, even in elementary school, and you go rush into the fountain after PE or whatever, and everyone's so thirsty, and then all of a sudden the water just comes out a rusty red brown. Yeah, everyone's done being thirsty. So, during those few times when I lived in town, as a kid, I had no idea. I drank water all the time, and a lot of people bugged me as growing up because nearly all I drank was water. I wasn't a big pop person. I wasn't a big juice person. The odd cup of juice as a kid for sure. Who doesn't like juice? But I drank a lot of water, and I remember people commenting on me as a teenager that I was still I drank so much water. And you know what? Still during my whole life, I had so many headaches all the time, even as much water as I did drink. So anyway, back to my Europe story. 2 days without Kangen water, headaches and migraines. Okay. Otherwise, since I had started Kangen water, I haven't had a headache or a migraine. They are gone. I have, tons of bottles of Tylenol and Advil around my house still, and I kind of boxed them up, and I put a couple in the medicine cabinet just in case we need one. But I box the rest up, and I literally take a glass of wine every once in a while, and I cheers that box because I have so many bottles you don't even know. I'll have to show you one day. But that'll be a different video. But I have so many bottles. And it's just kind of a celebration to me. Like, yay, I don't need you. Like, I was so reliant on Tylenol and Advil and aspirin that to keep my headaches away, it was daily. It was a couple times a day, you know. And if it wasn't headaches, I mean, I had random pains. My knees always hurt, and in high school, between volleyball, basketball, and keyboarding, my wrists literally felt like they were falling off. I had no strength on my wrist. You would think that over time, like, and I went to the doctors numerous times, and they would just say, like, oh, you just need to exercise enough. Oh, and I mean, I was a tough farm girl. I was in the garden all the time. I played sports. I'm athletic. I love to play sports. I played basketball, volleyball, baseball in the summertime, keyboarding, computer. But my wrists, at the point where I was playing 3 sports a year and keyboarding and doing everything else, and I was riding my bikes everywhere, and I had to wear braces on both my wrists because they literally wouldn't hold themselves up, especially when I was keyboarding, like, and the doctor just thought it was nothing. And I mean, knee pain and leg pain and weird pains my whole life, but it took until I was, how old was I? 38, when I finally, after heart surgery in 2015, a couple years after heart surgery, got diagnosed and realized I've had this whole chronic illness my entire life, just at a more minute level. And my heart surgery just blew it up, just flared it, just angered it that much more. So it got rather extreme, where I said, like, I was bedridden for a year because I literally couldn't do anything. I mean, I thought I had minor pains and headaches my entire life. Yeah, that's nothing compared to being bedridden every day with all that pain times I don't know how many. So anyway, back to Europe and Kangen water. Kangen water helped me, but 2 days without it, I, started getting migraines and headaches. And so I just kept taking notes, and I was pretty good. And I mean, like I said, I was drinking a lot. Switzerland probably has about that. Like, that was the freshest, yummiest water for sure. Switzerland, yes, straight off the mountains, right? Like, yum. We went to Lucerne. What a beautiful place. Switzerland is beautiful. But went there, and I could tell that, and I mean, for the odd time I had to buy bottled water. Of course, that was Fiji or somewhere else. Evian, I bought Fiji. I didn't see Evian anywhere, but so yeah, 2 days, and then I had little minor aches and pains here and there, which I just kept drinking water and, just enjoyed my trip, because that's ultimately what I was there for, enjoying everything as much as I could, and it was amazing. But nothing really hit me. I mean, I felt little twinges here and there, but nothing really hit me until actually the day we were coming back. So I lasted 12 days, relatively pain-free, which was amazing. That's all I could have hoped for sure. I enjoyed my trip the entire time. It was amazing. The first time I've ever left the country on my own to travel the world in any way, and it was pretty amazing. I'm so happy. Me and my daughter, we got to do that. It was pretty awesome. 5 countries in 12 days, and what an experience. Germany, Austria, Italy, Switzerland, and France. And that was so cool. Seeing the old world was amazing. So amazing. But yeah, on my last day, we were actually coming home, and I noticed in the airport all of a sudden, when we were on a delay, that my ankles were really swelling up, which was really odd for me because I don't have swelling. Like, I mean, I did when I had kids, when I was pregnant and stuff. I had a bit of a hypertension. But all of a sudden, I mean, my socks, I wear short socks, and my ankles were bubbling over my socks, which I was like, what the heck is going on? So, I mean, we were delayed in the airport, so I just laid down and I put my feet up. And we were there for a couple hours, so I did that, and I had a little bit of a nap, and we went on our next flight or whatever, and any chance I could, I put my feet up because I knew my ankles were really getting swollen, and I didn't really think of the rest of my body. And it was on our last flight. We were almost home, and I was napping, and I just woke up, and I mean, if you don't know what it's like for fibromyalgia, I mean, this is a classic sign where I literally, pain woke me up, and for some reason my forearm had a blinding pain in it. And I mean, for no reason, right? That's what fibro is. Pain for no reason. It is so frustrating. But it woke me up, and I was crying, and I was like, I was crying quietly because I didn't want the entire people to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I mean, that's normal for me. I hide my pain because it's just there, and it's always been there. And so I was holding my arm and kind of massaging it and just kind of sobbing. And my daughter was sitting next to me, and she didn't notice for, I don't know, probably 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden she realized, she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yes. I was like, just my arm hurts. It just hurts. Like it was a muscle in between. It was muscle pain, like kind of on my bone, but muscle pain. And it just was a throbbing, stabbing pain where I just sobbed for I don't know how long till we got off the flight. And I mean, then there was other things to do, so I kind of, the pain just kind of, I ignore it and it goes away or whatever it does. I don't even know. I just moved on with my life. And, but that excruciating pain, to wake up in that pain, I don't miss that at all. And anyway, we got home and we had my daughter's birthday party the next day at my parents' house, so full of family and whatnot. And I remember walking into the house, and I mean, I was fairly stiff and sore without having my water when I got home, man. Oh no, I actually told my husband, I was like, bring me water. So when he picked us up at the airport, I had Kangen water, and I mean, even just the taste of the lightness of going from regular water, any kind of regular water, to Kangen water. I mean, a lot of people, when they first try it, they're like, wow, it's like so silky, so smooth. And I mean, that's what it is, right? It's like tiny water. Like if you think of water as like you're drinking like water marbles, Kangen water is like drinking like Orbeez. Like if you know what Orbeez are, before you even inflate Orbeez, it's the difference between drinking marbles to Orbeez. Like huge difference, and so smooth and light. And I just like guzzled the water. And the next day we went out to my parents' house for the birthday, and everybody just noticed me. And I mean, I was stiff and sore, which is what I get without Kangen water. I get very one of my toughest years, I was 38, and I literally said my age flipped on me, and I was 83. That's literally what it was like to walk in pain and stiffness. That was my most memorably bad year, crazy, painful year. And that's what it's like. I mean, I literally reverted back to my 80s. I mean, I hope I don't actually feel like that in my 80s. Well, with Kangen water, I definitely won't. Kangen water will save me from that. But to feel like a healthy, vibrant, athletic, strong person, and to have your whole life ripped away into pain and stiffness, and like you've aged 50 years for no reason. It's crazy. But anyway, everyone kind of noticed me, and I didn't realize myself. I knew my ankles were a bit swollen, but my mom realized my entire face and my body was swollen. It's like, and it kind of puzzled me, but I'm like, is that just because I haven't drank Kangen water? Like, that Kangen water is so good, and I was trying to drink so much other water that my body actually retained it because I wasn't getting the same hydration as I was. Because, I mean, that's what your body does with food, so why wouldn't do it with water? I just felt like, yeah, because I wasn't getting the right hydration or nutrition from Kangen water, that my body was trying to cling on to as much water as it could to stay hydrated. But I retained a lot of water, and I didn't realize it and it was probably just the last couple days for sure. But my face, I guess, yeah, it was so round, like, and I didn't realize till I got there, and Mom's like, are you okay? Because I was stiff and sore, and she's like, your face is so, he was like, yeah, look at my ankles. And she said, oh, holy cow. So I went and I rested and drank my water, of course, and visited with everybody, and started talking about my trip and everything, because it was amazing. Definitely one of a kind trip. And to shorten it up, I just had it was about 4 days. 2 days made a big difference of drinking Kangen water, but 4 days I was back to my normal self, where I was no longer stiff and sore. So the first thing is just initial is headaches. That's on the second day. 2 days without Kangen water, I have headaches. That's my first sign of dehydration. And then I guess it was a week before I literally had 2 days, 2 till 12, I guess 10 days. I mean, I had little slight twinges of pain within those 10 days, but on the 12th day, was when I just started getting the stabbing, crazy pains, which is the normal fibro pain that I have felt my whole life. I remember my dad just trying to, because, I mean, as parents, I guess my parents were always kind of puzzled. I mean, it wasn't pain every day when I was a kid, but just random weird pains. And I mean, when I was a teenager, they always thought that it was growing pains, because it was in my legs and my knees. They're like, oh, you're just growing. And I was like, yeah, okay. And dealing with it, you know, rubbing my legs with A535 and any kind of muscle release thing that would help relieve the pain. I mean, I woke up so many nights, and my mom, she would, 2 o'clock in the morning, just wake up and come, and I'd be like, my legs are hurting, and I'm crying, and she would wake up because I was crying, or calling her because I just needed something, and she would rub my legs with pain reliever, and probably till I went back to sleep, and then she would go. And I mean, my mom is awesome. I love my mom. She has helped me definitely throughout my whole life very, very well. I mean, I wasn't a big doctor person. We didn't go to the doctor a million times to figure out why I was in pain, because we thought it was growing pains, or we thought it was this pain, or because of that. And until I was in my 20s, and I'm not growing anymore, and I'm still having these pains. That was it. I mean, and again, like I said, they were aching and they were annoying, and a lot of times it was when I was sleeping. I would wake up to that. But after I had heart surgery, that's when the heart surgery just, and it was slow. It wasn't like it was like after my heart surgery, boom, I was like 10 times worse. No, it was a very slow, gradual shock of my body. It took about a year later. I worked for almost an entire year. 6 weeks after my surgery, when I should have been able to go back to work. I felt like, and I did post something on Facebook, like saying that my superpowers have disappeared. Not that I felt like I had superpowers in some ways, but that had completely disappeared. And it took about a year later before I no longer could work. And I was like really just trying to, doing my best, figuring, because I worked, and I loved working hard, and I couldn't do it anymore. It got to the point where I was having panic attacks and couldn't even walk upstairs. Like after three stairs, I had to grab both railings and literally pull myself up those stairs because my legs couldn't walk me up those stairs on their own. And just the feeling of everybody running by you and going to the lunchroom, and the odd person kind of turning back and looking at me like, what's going on with her? But, nobody really asking, or nobody asking if I needed help up those stairs, but crying, getting up those, I don't know how many, 18 stairs. And then literally feeling so weak and helpless that I couldn't even go into the lunchroom to be with my friends, coworkers. I would literally just have a panic attack and have to go to the first aid room and lay down and be distraught in what I was experiencing and why I was experiencing it. So that's really why I want to make these videos every day, whether I look like a morning bag of poo or not. So you're welcome. But this morning we have had so much rain, but look at this beautiful sky. It's beautiful out today, and I just wanted to come out here. This is what I do when I have beautiful days. I come outside into my little piece of heaven, enjoying my flowers and everything else. My dogs and their quietness, they like to bathe in the sun just like I do. And enjoy the first bit of my day, whether it's with coffee or with water. First thing in the morning, it's with water, because I sleep with water. All I drink is water, except for every once in a while I'll drink a little bit of coffee or whatever. And I'll spend my day out here. I gotta mow the lawn and check my garden and pull a few weeds, I'm sure, and deadhead my flowers. This is what I do on a daily basis, just my own little piece of heaven. And wash my table because the rain has made it all a bit dirty, and I have kitty prints on it because cats love to be anywhere a little taller than dogs. I have 2 cats, Frost and Tuna. You'll get to meet them one of these days, I'm sure. But anyway, cheers guys, I love you. I just wanted to share my morning with you. I'm going to be doing more of this. So I bless you and have a beautiful day. Bye.